If you're someone who constantly worries and wonders, how the hell am I going to complete the next big decision that I need to take? Then you need to do this. You need to apply the 5 into 5 rule. And today I'm going to tell you exactly how you're supposed to use it. Hey self-helper, is trouble brewing in your life and are things going out of control? Are you constantly worried about how things are going to pan out and whether they're going to go your way? Today we're going to talk about the 5 times 5 rule and how you can apply it in your life in order to set things right in your mind and then systematically make changes in order to move forward. So what is the 5 into 5 rule? It's basically whether you have an issue at hand. Now, ask yourself this very simple question. Is this problem going to affect me 5 years from now? And if no, don't even spend 5 minutes worrying about it. It's that simple. There are many instances in our lives where we sense this thing that, oh my God, things are going out of control. Am I going to be able to contain the situation? Do I have the capacity to do what it takes? Again, look at where it's coming from. That inner need for controlling everything, that I have to be in complete control, because if not, I go crazy. I cannot contain myself. I cannot let things be. And that inner need to be in control of everything is going to affect not only our mental well-being, but it's also going to affect how we react to certain situations. Remember, life is not completely controllable, but what you can control is yourself and your mind. How are you going to use these 2 amazing aspects of yourself to actually go about changing the situation? How are you going to adapt to the world around you that is going to be in constant flux? It's going to be constantly changing. How do you adapt to this change? It's quite simple. Think about how your mind reacts under these circumstances and use the 5 times 5 rule effectively. Now let's say I have been caught for overspeeding. Now normally my reaction would be, oh my God, I got caught by the cops. Now I have to pay a fine. I don't know if I have the money to actually pay this off. Let me try and find a way to talk my way out of it. Let me try and somehow convince the officers that I'm not at fault, and maybe he'll let me off. Again, look at where that is coming from, that sense of control. I have to control the situation. I don't want to spend that money. I don't have the money. But the point is, you committed an offense. There's a painful stimulus coming your way and now you want to avoid it. This is the normal reaction. Now the 5 into 5 rule tells us that in the same circumstances, how do we react? We do this. We tell ourselves, is this going to affect me 5 years from now? Now, most of us in this situation would say, yes, in reality, this would not affect me 5 years from now. So do I spend more than 5 minutes worrying about it? No, I don't. I pay my fine. I accept my mistake. I go on with my life. As simple as that. We are constantly worrying about things that we need not worry about. So what are those things in your life that you are currently worrying about? Let me know down in the comments section below. We have to perform in different areas of our life, be it business, sports, academic, or just life performance, how we feel about ourselves and the world around us. We are constantly looking to keep things in balance. So how does this actually play a role? Now, look at it like this. This 5 times 5 rule works really well, especially if you're looking to maintain some mental composure. You're a poor planner. Whenever you make a plan, that uncertainty that disappears. So if you have something of a plan, now everything doesn't ever go according to plan, but having a plan in mind systematizes and puts that worry at rest. So how are you going to apply this 5 times 5 rule? Now, assuming that you have to plan your career, you're a sportsman, you're a business person, you're looking to make that dramatic shifting from a job into something that you've always wanted to do. How are you going to adapt? Now think about it like this. There is a can do and there is a can't do. What can you do? You can either plan, have an idea as to the vision that you're going to eventually see yourself, what do you see yourself as, and you work up to it. You make goals, you reverse engineer. You try and track your goals all along the way to ultimately reach what you want. That's one way of going about it. Now, what can't you do? Say you're a procrastinator, you have the same vision in mind. You really don't know how to go about challenging yourself to come out of this cycle. You can't constantly keep worrying about the aspects of your life that you can't control. So what do you need to do? You need to shift. You need to think differently. Stop identifying yourself as a procrastinator. Look at yourself as someone who has the ability to make a shift. Think about how you are going to do this. Again, planning plays a big role in this, and immediately your worry dissipates as you keep doing this. So make that one simple shift and move towards the identity of someone who completes what they start. Look at things differently. Think of it like this. If you're a business person, you're stuck. You have to gain the knowledge that you need. You have to start networking. You have to meet the right people. You have to start investing in the right things. Look at all of this. You're a sportsman. You're not training hard enough. You need to compete at a higher level. You need to play with better players. Look at it like that. You're not studying well. You're not performing well in that area. You need to look at how am I going to transform my study skills? Maybe I'm not doing it the right way. What am I weak at? Is that going to play an important role later? Or am I going to, just brush this aside and get through it as fast as possible so that I can focus on what I want in my life? What do you see yourself doing? Think about all of this. Various decisions in your life will demand you having to choose what are the can do's and the can't do's. But using the 5x5 rule immediately tells you what are the things that you necessarily should be concerned about, like these life-changing decisions that I just mentioned regarding your career, your relationships, your life in general. Think about all of those with a great deal of importance and focus less on the things that should not be given even 5 minutes of worry time. Think about those things that 5 years from now, they are not going to matter. What other people think about you, what other people say in the heat of the moment, it's not going to matter. What is going to matter is how you react. What is your opinion that you have of yourself? That's the most important thing. How much do you value yourself? How much do you value your time? And based on that, your 5-year plan, that is going to immediately take shape. You're going to have to see, how am I going to get to what I want? That's the most important thing. So make sure it's of relevance. As relevant as possible. If you have a plan that is going to take you to what you want in your life, it's going to make things that much easier for you. Your emotional resources, your mental health does not have to suffer. Use your emotional needs to get empowered and stop worrying about the things that need not have to be worried about. Look at the areas in your life that do demand importance. There are going to be certain things that you can't control, certain events that are going to have you going astray. You're not going to reach your goal by following that. Unfortunately, that's the case with most of us. Nothing is certain. Nothing is certain. But what you can transform is your view of the situation and work towards not perfection, but just focus on progress, focus on constant improvement. Just make that simple shift using the 5x5 rule. Think about how you're going to make those small little steps towards getting to where you want to go. That's all it takes. Look at how you're going to take that next step, and then the next step, and then the step after that. That's how it is for most of us. It's not always going to be a flooding kind of thing where we have to jump and go right into what we aren't comfortable with. But taking small steps is always necessary. That is what is empowering. And that's what we're all about here on this channel. Remember that the 5x5 rule basically tells us that if you want to ever deal with a certain thing effectively, you want to make a decision that you decide to make, that is defined by you only and not been thrown about from all different angles by someone else. Using the information that you have, taking the support of others, you make a decision that suits you and you ultimately curb your worrying as much as possible. So use that 5x5 rule. Think about different areas in your life right now. 5 years from now, am I going to worry about it? Or does it even deserve my 5 minutes right now? Should I even worry about it in the present? How do I shift my mind and come out of this? Your emotional resources are very important. Do not waste them on things that are trivial. Remember that. And your assignment for the day is to actually find 2 areas in your life, 2 things in your life right now that demand usage of the 5x5 rule. What are the things that you're struggling with on a day-to-day basis? Is it important to be dealt with right now? How are you going to deal about it? What can you do? What can't you do about it? And other things that need worry, are there some things that the bigger picture, the vision that you have for yourself, do they need addressal? Go about doing it. Address those problems. And always, progress is important, not perfection. So progress a little bit each and every single day. So if you found this video useful, make sure you leave it a thumbs up and tell me what you thought about it down in the comment section below. I am putting out videos on a daily basis to help you out and make you the best version of yourself and have you motivated, empowered, and having you perform better in every single area of your life. So if this is your first time here, subscribe right now and turn on bell notifications. Check out all of my videos because they are going to make a big difference in your life. Business, finance, whatever it is, performance is important in all of these areas. This is Vikram signing off, and I'll see you in the next session.